I'm getting married in June. My fiance's, like, by the time we get married, living with me for about a year. Do we both need renter's insurance, or is it close enough that mine covers it?
If you're living together and you're not married, you would both need a policy. Now, is it you own the home or is it an apartment?
It's an apartment.
Okay. It's best to have two policies because your stuff's not going to cover, your policy won't cover his belongings. That's just the way the policies are wrote, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, whatever the case may be. So basically if he moves in and has a, you know, big TV or something you guys are using, if there's a fire and they come in, you say, oh, it was his TV, they're not going to pay for it because it's not yours. No, you would need to.
When do we get a plan together?
Once you're married.
Okay.
Once you're married, you can get one policy.
So we're not automatically kicked off our parents? It's a
Oh,
while, or is there going to be
not
time?
automatically, but if that's the situation, yeah, as soon as you get married, you want to be on your own. Yep.
Not like health insurance.
We won't go into Obamacare. But no, once you're married, the sooner you move out on your own. Now, let's say, you know, renter's policy. There again, you might be covered under your mom and dad's policy. Once you graduate school and get a job, insurance companies want you on your own. They don't want you covered under mom and dad's policy anymore. The rule of thumb on that is when you graduate post-secondary school, or you're no longer living in the household, regardless of whether you're in school or not. And then the third one is once you turn 25 usually. Those are kind of the triggers. 25 is the big one. If you graduate, the other one. You know, if you go to school and you decide, no, it's not for me, I'm just going to get a job and live with, you know, a couple roommates, that's the third one. Excuse me, but, you know, those are the three triggers for getting your own policy. And then, of course, the fourth would be getting married. Let's say you have a loss, and mom and dad, you know, oh yeah, you know, there was a fire in the apartment, and daughter, you know, lost her materials. The insurance company is going to ask questions, find out you're married. They probably won't cover that because they have no interest in that anymore.
Okay.
And that can cause a lot of problems. So, anything else? I know Andrea's just dying to ask me a question.
I don't have any questions.
You don't?
About our cats. What about animals?
What about animals?
Do they cover animals? Will they replace them?
Not really.
So they don't care?
It's not that they don't care, it's just how do you insure
Do they
a cat?
discriminate against certain kinds of animals?
Yes.
What if you have like a $2,500 dog?
You better have a lot of
Examine
paperwork.
first of all. I know somebody that's buying a $2,500 dog.
But back to her question about discriminating against animals, yes they do.
Pit bulls.
Pit bulls are no-no. Rottweilers.
What's wrong with them?
They're just dangerous.
No, they're not.
They have the bloodline in them.
They have the bloodline.
I do not write homeowners policy. I have 4 carriers that'll write homeowner insurance, whether it's with a home or a trailer home, and not one of them will cover anybody's dog if it's a pit bull, Rottweiler, Chow Chow, wolf, or any form of a wolf. Those big chows, those
yes,
big ones.
They're adorable.
They're dangerous.
No, they're not.
They have a history of biting people and attacking people.
I would trust
guns
my
are dangerous
4-year-old
too.
to be babysat
Yeah,
by
but-
Bullets in
people
them.
and some stranger that's going to come to my house.
I'm with Boxer.
Okay.
Boxers are borderline. I wish I had that list with me.
There's a terrier, isn't there a, there's something, it's
There's some form of a terrier.
terrier that, yeah.
But basically, they're not going to cover any liability injuries.
So like a renter, like she's renting and she had a pet and it did damage to the place. Is that her renter's insurance going to cover that, or is that strictly up to the homeowner?
The renters will cover that. But what they're getting at with those dogs.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering why more people that own places won't rent to people with animals. If they would require them to carry renter's insurance, then you know they would.
Well,
It's
see,
the allergy thing.
it's not the allergy thing so much. It's I got a gentleman in town that rents 20 different places in town. It's not the allergy thing so much, you know, cats, dogs, hair, whatever. It's more the fact that there are people that just do not clean up after their pets. I could go into horror stories. I saw one house that this gentleman owns that a single guy had a dog and 2 cats, and I don't think they ever went outside, and he never had a litter box. I don't want to go into any more details. The thing with the dogs that is the issue is specifically pit bulls because of their history. And yes, it depends on how they're raised. I understand that, but they have that trait in them. Where there's no coverage is if that dog bites somebody. You know, if you got your little chocolate lab hunting dog that, you know, somebody comes up and we had this happen. It was a black lab hunting dog. I had it for 5 years. The grandkid came over. The dog was eating out of his dish, and the kid reached in and grabbed his food out of his dish. The kid got bit. We paid for those medical expenses because it was a dog, a breed, etc., that had no history of biting. Now, if that's a pit bull or anything of that nature, no, you're on your own. You pay those medical expenses out of your pocket. That's part of that liability.
Will a company not cover you at all if you tell them you have a pit bull?
They will cover you, but they will exclude the dog. And you have to sign a form saying you understand that if that dog bites somebody or causes physical harm to somebody, the company will not pay for any of those damages or injuries. No, it's not that you can't get coverage. It's just they won't cover anything related to those dogs. And it's specifically dogs. I mean,
You might want to look at the city, like in my hometown in North Dakota, it's a city ordinance that you cannot have people. And
Mitchell
one
does-
other one within city limits.
Mitchell does not have a city ordinance saying that they will not accept dogs of any kind or pets, except for exotic animals.
But I'm just saying, some towns do have that.
Because I went through this with our
Exotic
friendly,
animals.
animal control, Mr. Parker.
We had one, don't we?
If these dogs bite somebody, regardless of the breed, you know, black labs, golden retrievers, pit bulls, whatever,
How'd you know?
they may deem that dog
Actually, I have a
dangerous and tell you that you have to, it has to either leave the city limits or be immunized.
Or muzzled.
No, they will not
But they
allow
change-
muzzles.
Because my sister's dog,
Say that last part again. What you just said.
If your dog bites somebody
Yeah.
and the city, because all dog bites have to be reported to the police department.
Right.
If you go to the hospital and you have a dog bite, they have to turn it in to the police department. The city council at that point can decide whether that dog is either a danger to people or not. If they feel it is, they give you 2 choices. You either have to take the dog outside the city limits and find a place for it to live, or it has to be put down. They won't allow muzzles just.
is this that recently? Because my sister's dog about 10 years ago bit a dog.
Oh, this is within the last 2 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
because she was told that she could keep the dog if she kept it muzzled at all times outside, or like you said, euthanized it, or it had to be city limits.
Yeah.
So he went into foster care at my house.
No, this is all within the last.
Muzzled at all times.
Well, it was out, yes. And it was one of those cases where someone actually stepped onto her property and was talking to her child, and the dog bit her, so.
Dog was protecting